Welcome to part 3 of chemistry. So in this video I'm going to show you how I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you what we do with the units and the measurements. So in chemistry, in physics, we deal with measuring things, and when you're measuring things, it will be a successful thing as a student, to even write a physical quantity with the proper units that you've been talking about. So now, before I start units, I'm going to talk about what is called physical quantities. Okay, so I know this thing comes more in physics, but also in chemistry we do them, right? So we have what is called physical quantities. You know that physical quantities, these things can be measured. You can measure them. They have got those stuffs there. So examples of the physical quantities that you may come across with, you may have certain things like area, just to combine, because I know physical quantities, they may be described as the basic quantities or fundamental quantities. You may also have what is called the derived quantities, but in here I'm combining everything that I'm writing here. So we have the area, we have the volume, for example. These are just examples. We have velocity and so forth. These are quantities. You can measure them, right? You can measure them, and so forth. We have force, you have energy, you have power, specificity, enthalpy, entropy. Those are physical quantities. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that when you have a physical property, you are going to understand to say, yes, it can be measured, right? But when it is measured, it's going to carry a certain value. Let me give an example. Then we start the work from there. So, for example, if I measure volume and my answer is 20 cubic centimeters, right? This value here that I've gotten, let's say it's the answer, I've measured it, it's the volume. It has the first part, which is called the magnitude, which is also called the size. Then the second part is called the unity. Now, my focus much is on the units. I want to show you how do we convert, the units from one to another unit. This way now we bring in another idea called prefixes and the suffixes. Okay? A prefix and a suffix. Students out there and other people, I think you've seen certain things where you've written, let's say, kilometer. Some of you've seen kilometer, all right? You've seen a kg, you've seen a centimeter. Let me begin from here. You've seen a milligram, you've seen milliliter, you've seen a lot of units, actually, a lot of units. You've seen nanometer, you can report your units, whatever there. I mean your answers in those kind of units. Now, from this thing that I have written here, everything that is that's in the face of everything here. For example, kilometer. A kilo is a prefix. So a kilo is a prefix. Even here, kilogram, a kilo is a prefix. So if a kilo is a prefix from the word, let's say kilo, kilogram. Kilo is a prefix and it has a meaning. That's one thing you have to understand. It has a meaning. Then a gram is a suffix. This is cent. So the first part of the unit that you have, for example, in this case, cent is a prefix. Then a meter is a suffix. Then, for example, you have a milligram. So a milli is a prefix. Then a gram is a suffix. Milliliter. We have milliliter. So a milli is a prefix and a liter is a suffix. Now, listen, student. When you talk about prefixes, they have the meanings. Okay? They have the meanings. And always they come before the suffix. Now, look at here. We have a lot of the prefixes and their symbols as well as their meanings. Now, I want you to understand something here. We have some that deals with the positives to the power of the negative, and there are some that deals with the power of a negative. So in here, I'm going to start with the negative prefixes and their meanings. Then I'll show you the work from there. So we have the negative. As I've said, the prefixes, they have got the meanings, okay? So I've started with the negative. So, for example, if I say a days, we have one, days. I can say decimeter, decigram, you understand, because it is a prefix. I can use it to anything. Deciliter, I can use it, it's fine, you understand. But what's the meaning of days? The symbol is small letter d, and the meaning is 1 times 10 to the power of -1. Remember that. So if I say a decimeter, this means that where is a days? Have you seen a days here? I have to say 1 times a 10 to the power of -1, then I write a meter. So this means that in 1 decimeter, I have 1 times 10 to the power -1 meter. So there's even nothing to memorize to say how many meters are in 1 decimeter. This is what you do. So where there's a days, just put the meaning of the days. Then you have converted into that kind of a suffix. It's very simple. 1 decimeter is equal to 1 times 10 to the power -1 meters. That's what it means. Another one, I'm talking about the one with the negatives. Okay? Another one, apart from a days, we have, look at here, we have a centimeter. We have a cent, not a centimeter, but we have a cent. The symbol is C, and the meaning is 1 times 10 to the power -2. What this means is that if I say I have a centimeter and I want to know how many meters are in a 1 centimeter, I am going to say where there is a cent, I'm going to put the meaning 1 times 10 to the power -2. Then this meter here comes here and you say, okay, meter. So this means that in 1 centimeter, there's 1 times 10 to the power of -2 meters. That becomes what is called in chemistry a conversion factor. So this one is a standard D, 1 to 1 centimeter to that meter. So it becomes what is called a conversion factor. So you can use this one to convert. I'm going to come to this work very soon. Now I want to show the meaning and how we translate these things. So please, I want you to know what the meaning of a cent is. So when I give you a thing that has a cent, you are going to understand that it means 1 times 10 to the power -2. And when you're converting, you always have to write the standard one. Feel me? Let's go to the next one. The next one is it's a milli, right? It's a milli, written like this. The symbol is small letter m. The meaning of milli as a prefix is 1 times 10 to the power of -3. So look at here. If I say I want to find out, let's say I have milliliter. How many liters are in 1 mil? Feel me? I can find this because I know the meaning of a milliliter. So I'm going to say 1 times 10 to the power of -3, where it's a milli, then I say a liter. You feel me? So this is 1 milliliter is equal to 1 times 10 to the power -3 liters. So this becomes a conversion factor that will involve milliliters and liters. I can use this one to convert any kind of a number that are going to give me to whatever units that I need. Another common one, I'm just giving the common one so you understand what mil means there. So if I say millimeter, look at here. Millimeter, I know. How many meters do you think are in 1 meters? I know the meaning. Milli here means 1 times a 10 to the power of -3 meters. So 1 millimeter is equal to this. You feel me? It's easy to tell. It's easy. Yeah, very easy, man. Another one that you need to know is a micro. I'm talking about the negative prefixes here. So the micro, like this, micro, the symbol is something that looks like U, but not really a U. What's the meaning of micro? It means 1 times 10 to the power of -6. You feel me? So if I say microgram, right, I want to find out how many grams are there in 1 microgram. I just have to put what is micro there to say 1 times a 10 of -6 what? Grams. Then I can convert whatever they can give me. Can you convert 20 grams to micrograms? I can convert because I know to say 1 microgram is equal to 1 times 10 to the power -6 grams. Excellent. Let's move on. There's a very good work that I have to do. answer questions on this, then I'll post as well. Another common one is called nano. Another prefix is called the nano. The symbol is N, small letter N, nano. The meaning is 1 times 10 to the power negative 9. So that means if I want to know the standard, let's say nanometer or nanogram, or let's say nanometer, all right, 1 nanometer. How many meters, because that's a suffix there, how many meters I have to put where there's nano 1 times 10 to the power negative 9 what? Meters. I know. This is my conversion factor. Trust me, no one will teach you more than what I'm doing here. Get these concepts and it's very simple to understand. Okay? Then another one that is somehow common, I'm giving you the common ones. It's called pico. It's called pico. All right? Pico. The symbol is the small letter P. Pico means 1 times 10 to the power negative 12. So if I say picometer, they'll ask you to do this. Picometer, if I want to find how many meters are in 1 picometer, I have to get this number. It's a very small number. It's about 0.0000000. You understand? Yeah, very small number. So 1 times 10 to the power negative 12 what? Meters. Very easy. Very simple. So whatever number they give you, use this as a conversion factor. Now, at the last one, on the negative side, then I go to the positive side, then I give you some examples on how to convey it. We have what is called femito. All right, the symbol is small letter F, and the meaning is the femito is 1 times 10 to the power negative 15. So if I say femitometer, you can convert that one to meters and say, what's the meaning of a femito? You understand that it's 1 times 10 to the power negative 15. Then you say a meter there. First of all, you have to find the standard one. That's very key. Whenever you're converting, you need to know which one is your conversion factor. So I am done with the negative side. Let me go to the positive prefixes as well. So positive ones. Okay. So for the positive ones, the first one is what is called deca. All right. Some of you have seen decameter, decagram. So decameter uses small letter DA. Okay. You may find deca, diagram. It means deca. What's the meaning? It means 1 times 10 to the power 1. As I said, these are positives, right? In that order. So for example, if I want to find how many meters are in 1 decameter, I have to say the meaning of deca is 1 times 10 to the power 1, a meter, which is just like 1 times 10. You understand? So very easy to tell. Another one for the positive side that you have to talk about is hecto. Okay? Hecto. Hecto to the negative side is a saint. So hecto, that's the second one. Hecto, which is H. What's the meaning? It means 1 times 10 to the power what? Positive 2. So you can have hectometer, hectogram, hectoliter, whatever there. Another one that you need to understand on the positive side is a kilo. This one is common to most of you people, which is that K there, small letter K. And what's the meaning? It means 1 times 10 to the power 3, which is like a 1,000. So if I have like a kilometer, look at what comes from. I want to find out how many meters are in a 1 kilometer. I have to replace what is a kilo by 1 times 10 to the power 3. Then I say meters here. You see, this is where it comes from. It's easy. And you people, you know to say 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Yes. Where does it come from? It comes from here. This is where it comes from here. You get. So whenever you're converting, you have to understand which one is my conversion what? My conversion factor. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show you. Let me talk about another one for the positive side. I think the last one. It's common. It's called mega. Okay. We have what is called mega to the positive side. So on the mega side, the capital letter use the symbol M, and the meaning is 1 times 10 to the power 6. So if you have megameter, you know where there's mega, you just put 1 times 10 for you to find what? The conversion factor. So this is what we do when you're trying to convert. I know, as I said, there are a lot. but we don't use most of them. We just there's just some common prefixes, some units of the prefixes that we normally use when you are talking about the units and the measurements. Now in my next video, I'm going to show you, I have a lot of examples where they have asked you to convert from one unit to another unit, and I want to show you how do we go about converting. Remember, here we don't use cross multiplication when you're converting. That's for the children, guys. That's for the kids, man. Yeah. So I'm gonna show you how we convert from one unit to another unit in my next video. I'll have some questions, then we are going to solve them together. Alright? So thank you for watching, guys.